Hey YouTube, we made it to Creekside RV Park in Pigeon Forge,
Tennessee.
Yay! You can see I kind of have a little bit of sun going on from the last campground. I wasn't paying attention, obviously.
Somebody was getting too much sun while I was working this morning.
Yeah, so that's gonna be awesome. Day 0, like with a little bit of a tan going on. Yeah, like you can see, like fits perfectly the picture, right?
I got a nice tan though.
Yeah. So anyway, we're here. We will do a campground review of this place, and you're gonna get to follow along and see us enjoy Pigeon Forge. I'll do a little pan around so you can see that we're on the creek side here. You can see the big creek behind us, and then if I turn around, you can see there's our camper and our Jeep. So yeah, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you around. So this is the main strip on Pigeon Forge if you've never been to Pigeon Forge before, and it's essentially a bunch of tourist traps with attractions and stuff like that for the kids. It is very, very highly kids like oriented, and I included this so you can see where the campground was in relationship to Pigeon Forge, and we will get to the campground almost immediately. So right here is a turn, and I think we go count the stoplights. There's three stoplights. And then we are at the RV park right here. So this is the entrance to the RV park. There is a saltwater pool up there that's very warm, or at least it was warm when we were here. And the campground store is right next to us at the entrance. This is the Jeep Gladiator that we have, and our trailer that you've seen in previous videos. The campground store, it seemed like people mostly were buying firewood and ice. They did have some RV stuff in there too, obviously, if you had forgotten like the sewer hose or the extension cord or something like that, or if you needed a tablecloth or something. So the campground itself is essentially 2 loops. There is this loop right here, I think it's the upper loop if I look on the map, and then there's also the lower loop. So coming up is a laundromat and the restroom. It's a red building with a red roof. The left side here on both loops, and I know we aren't showing you the other loop yet, but on both loops kind of backs up to the road, and the right side is essentially this inner part of the circle. So I guess if you have like a family and you want to be like all like kind of close together, maybe the right side would be good for you. And personally, I don't really like this side of the campground. I like the creek side myself. That road right there is the connector to the other loop, and there are trash cans there. There's also trash cans near the pool. So the COVID thing was kind of going on, and Tennessee had reopened into phase 3, but this was a couple months ago, and so they weren't picking up trash. I don't know if they ever do, but that was just so the procedure and how they had everything set up. It's also why you don't see people wearing a whole lot of masks, because they're in phase 3, which is like the green phase or whatever, if you're not really familiar with like the numbers or whatever. We pulled in on an off day. That's why there's so many of these open sites that you can see here. And the sites do have picnic tables and fire rings. And the left side is the creek side, the preferred area. And the end sites, the last couple on each end where the creek kind of turns, are the bigger sites for the bigger rigs. And then these center ones are for the smaller rigs, and you can see how tight it is. So the 2 trees that we passed right there on the left, that's what I have to back between, and I had cars parked on both sides of me, so probably I should have been a little bit closer to that red truck, but either way, there isn't really a lot of room to back in here. But fortunately, the neighbors came out and they moved their vehicles for me a little bit, which made it a lot easier to get back in. And once they moved their vehicles, I got right in, which I was kind of happy that it was so easy to get in. So anyway, I'll do another little driving tour for you guys of the campground so you can see the other loop. So here we are pulling in again, and the campsite store is on the right, the pool is right there like I just pointed out, and you can see there's kids in it and stuff, and that kind of gave you an idea how really big it is. I think it would be crowded if there was more than say like 10 people in the pool. It's a pretty small pool. So yeah, you can see the trash cans ahead of me that they have set up for where you can take your trash. So these edge ones, like I was saying, like the corner there on the right and this next corner on the right would be the ones for the larger rigs if you want to be Creekside. And you can see here the positioning of the rigs, how close they are together. And the awnings, they aren't touching each other. And these are some of the more generous sites. Especially these are very generous. And like I was saying, the ones on the left are roadside, and the ones on the right are this like little center loop, meant more for people that want to be together. But anyway, so on the Creekside ones, they packed like as many campers as they could in there basically. So the awnings aren't touching the next camper, but it did feel like it was pretty tight. It was one of the tighter campgrounds, at least at the site that we were in, because these right here don't look so bad on the lower loop. That's a pretty big trailer. But where it's straight at, like I was saying, it's mostly the short trailers. The RV on the left specifically, or motorhome on the left, that one there I think is in the site that KYD or Keep Your Daydream had in the episode where they came to this RV park to the Great Smoky Mountains a season or two ago. If you were interested in knowing exactly which site they had. There were kids everywhere in this park. It seemed very, very extremely family-oriented and kids-oriented. We have AT&T phones. The AT&T service was good in this park. I turned the ham radio on and played with it a little bit. I actually picked up America Link, so there was a Yaesu System Fusion repeater in the area too, if you get into ham radio. So that was kind of cool to hear that, because I don't even really have one of those near my house. But the RV campground has one. So the sites have picnic tables, like I was saying, and a fire ring, and this is the Creekside on the left. So one of the neat things about this park, besides the fact that it is close to Pigeon Forge, like very, very close to Pigeon Forge that you can drive there, is they have a trolley system. And the trolley system goes all over Pigeon Forge. It even goes to Gatlinburg. Like, it is this huge system of trolleys. We did not take any of the trolleys, but they do come through this campground, and they're very, very cheap. It was like $1 or $1.50 or something like that. Very inexpensive. The other thing you just noticed is you probably saw the tongue on my trailer was like on the ground. Like, I don't even have a block underneath it. On the Creekside, it is not flat at all. Like, it is very extremely graded toward the creek, so the runoff would go into the creek. So because of that, we had to jack the back up and lower the front as much as possible to get it so it would be level in the camper. So this is the trolley that I'm talking about, and it's going to pass through here, and you'll see it. And we're going to head out to the Great Smoky Mountains and let you guys see some video footage of the Great Smoky Mountains. So please like and subscribe, and we will see you guys in the Great Smoky Mountains.